Hey guys, good morning. Thank you for tuning in for our Facebook Live this morning. My name is Francisco. I'm one of the herpetology keepers here at the Houston Zoo, and I'm here with a very special guest today. This is Murthy. He is one of our conservation partners. He works in the eastern Ghats region of India, rescuing king cobras and other local snakes, relocating them from villages to avoid potential conflict with humans. And the other guest of honor right behind us is our very own king cobra. The scientific name is Ophiophagus hannah, and her name is aptly named Hannah. So king cobras are the longest venomous snake in the world. The longest one on record reached around 18 feet. Males will typically get bigger than females. They possess a highly potent neurotoxin in their venom. This will attack the nervous system. And their name actually means snake eater. So in the wild, king cobras will primarily eat other snakes, including other cobras. They've also been known to eat monitor lizards as well when presented the chance. So Hannah here, she's about 9.5 feet long. You can find her in the back wall of the reptile house behind the reticulated python enclosure and next to the red-tailed green rat snake and the Philippine tree skink. This is actually a new enclosure for her. We gave her quite a bit of an upgrade. So another cool thing about king cobras is there's lots of different localities throughout their range. They have quite a large range from India down into Southeast Asia, Indonesia, somewhat of China. So Hannah here is a Malaysian king cobra. So king cobras are actually the only snakes that build nests as well. The female will kind of gather, like we see here, bamboo litter and dirt and just kind of put it into a mound, and she'll lay the eggs. And she'll actually guard the nest until they hatch. And right before they hatch, because they are snake eaters, the female typically leaves the nest so that there isn't a possibility of cannibalism. So we can see her cruising. So, Murthy, I have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind. So for our viewers that are not familiar with you, what work are you doing in the field to help king cobras?
I'm a conservation practitioner working in the eastern Ghats of South India. We do a lot of conflict mitigation work, and most people don't know about king cobras because they are terrified looking at their size. But people working with king cobras, trying to save them, will definitely know that despite their size, they are very timid. They always try to avoid humans, and they help humans by controlling other snake populations, which also includes Russell's vipers or Asiatic cobras that we have in South India, and they're responsible for thousands of deaths each year. So king cobras in one way are helping the local communities, and bites from a king cobra are very rare. So we do a lot of conflict mitigation and education work with the communities of our native Eastern Ghats locations.
Yeah, that sounds like great work.
Yeah.
Here at the Houston Zoo, we also do similar work with our native snakes. We have a lot of native snakes that generate similar kinds of fear in local citizens, cottonmouths, copperheads, and so our education department does a great job of helping to tell stories about them, kind of create connections, and try to mitigate that fear.
Great.
Another question for you, how can guests help save snakes in the wild?
By visiting the Houston Zoo, they are helping king cobras survive in the wild because they are actually helping the zoo as well as supporting international projects like us in the Eastern Ghats, because the project that we are doing to conflict mitigation and king cobra protection in the Eastern Ghats has been supported by Houston Zoo for the past 8 years. And that's only possible because of the guests who are visiting the zoo and appreciating these animals in captivity and helping them survive in the wild as well.
Awesome. Absolutely. Do snakes play an important role in the ecosystem?
Yes, they definitely do. And speaking of storytelling, we always try to engage our audience, telling how they are beneficial to their own economy, how they help control rodents, destructive rodents like rats, that are responsible for a loss of 30 to 40% in the crop. So that's how we tell them that snakes are important in ecology, and some species like the king cobra, as you said, feed primarily on other snakes. So they're also controlling other snake populations and helping reduce snake bites. So we connect with communities by saying how existence of snakes is linked with their welfare.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a lot of connection that a lot of people may not know about. You know, the snakes that king cobras are eating, like you said, they're primarily eating the rodents. So if you take out any one of that equation, it can spell a lot of trouble for humans. I believe that one of the big successes of your organization was that you recently managed to recruit a village to protect the king cobra nest. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so for the first time in the conservation history of Eastern Ghats landscape, we successfully engaged local communities in protection of a king cobra nest. As you said, the female king cobra is the only snake in the world that builds a nest. And it stays around for some time, but eventually it has to go to feed. And so at that time, the eggs in the nest are vulnerable to natural predators like mongoose and monitor lizards. And so the villagers who used to hunt down these snakes earlier are now helping us identify the nests and protect the nests. And so we have engaged the whole community, and they were so happy to see these hatchlings, around 25 of them, emerged out of their eggs, and they were released right there. It was an in situ conservation initiative. We didn't relocate them, we didn't take them elsewhere.
Wow, that sounds great. It's great to hear that you know, your work is already creating measurable impacts. Lauren from the audience asked, how do they gather the stuff for the nest? So they actually will use the coils in their body. They just kind of like go in circles with their body. As you can see, it's very long and very strong. You might have seen how she's able to hold her head all the way up to the top of the enclosure. They will use that strength to just sort of gather as much leaf litter and debris as they can.
Usually they use bamboo leaves, dry bamboo leaves, as you can see typically, but they can also use pine leaves. Depends on the geographical location that they live. But it's such an amazing marvel for a limbless snake to build a nest. It's not easy. The female works really hard.
Absolutely.
To build a nest. And having seen one in the wild, I mean, it's an amazing feeling.
I can imagine. What is one takeaway you want viewers to know about snakes that are tuning in?
So save snakes and save your economy, because snakes are directly linked with rodent control. And if you're saving snakes, these are amazing animals. They are also being eaten by many other predators. So they play a key role in the ecology. So save snakes and save the ecosystem. Thank you.
Awesome. We have another question. So Nicole is asking, what is her diet? So here at the Houston Zoo, we do feed her primarily rodents. The reason that we cannot give her her natural diet of snakes is here at the zoo, we're very careful with the food items that we feed our animals. And we still haven't found a supplier of snakes that actually fits our dietary standards as far as cleanliness and just making sure that the snakes are going to be getting the best food possible. So she does feed primarily on rodents. And she'll eat maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks.
That's great.
Murthy, what would you say your favorite thing about king cobras is?
Well, I think these snakes are well respected. They know their space, and they always, given a chance, they always try to move away. These are not like any other snakes, like vipers, which are ill-tempered. They strike. But king cobras, somehow I feel that these are thinking snakes. They always try to escape, given their size. They are they're royal snakes. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean that you can always see that these snakes are capable of striking, but still they are always trying to escape, giving you that space. And these are the most respected animals, I think, for me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so a question specifically for me. What is my favorite thing about working with king cobras? So I'm going to piggyback a little on what Murthy said. There's a lot of respect that I have for this snake, and whenever I am working with her, I can definitely see like how she's thinking. They're a lot more intelligent than a lot of people might give a snake credit for. I can just see it in her eyes. She's figuring stuff out. Like you said, she always tries to get away if we ever have to take her out for enclosure maintenance or a medical procedure. She always tries to get away first. But if that is not an option for her, you can see her sort of figure out, okay, what's my best option after this. So I just love how intelligent they are. I love how gorgeous she is. She's absolutely beautiful. I love that light color. She retains a little bit of banding that adults sometimes lose in Malaysian king cobras. So, yeah, I just love this snake. Looks like we're having another question come up. So another cool thing about king cobras, you can see her big eyes and pupils. So king cobras are actually primarily diurnal, which is different than a lot of other cobras, which tend to be more nocturnal or crepuscular.
It's a female you have?
Yes, this is a female.
Beautiful.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today with us. And we want to say an extremely special thank you to our partner, Murthy, who's visiting us this week.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Love to hear about your work. And everyone, please visit the Houston Zoo because every visit helps support projects like Murthy's to help save animals in the wild.